Good morning, magic players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm in the car. I did go home real quick just to see if my dad was there, and unfortunately he is. So I'm not going to be able to use the playmat and the cool coin, unfortunately, for the final episode of this series, or this chapter in our series. But I am still, of course, going to make sure that we get this recorded for you guys, because I know that it is really something that everybody's kind of getting into, at least this series in particular. And I think that this last episode's going to be a banger. I have a really good feeling about today's packs. I don't know why, I just do. So, here's hoping I'm right. And of course, since it's Thursday, what we're doing is new set versus old set. Right now, Lord of the Rings, the old set, is up 4-3. Heading into the last round. Oops, careful with the backs. I did bring a card box today to make sure that I keep the cards safe. It currently contains the Tatiova deck that I built. I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers of it today, but it is complete. I just wanted to show you. I will be putting it into Architect tonight, or rather today at some point. I say tonight because I'm already done work for the day, so it feels like I'm already into the nighttime, but yeah, I'll get that done today, and I also hope to get the Goblin deck done by the end of the day tomorrow. It's already in the pre-constructed phase. I've just got to kind of pick out all the enchantments and etc, and then just cut it down to 100 card size. Anyways, so the goal is to have the Goblin deck for Super Deck Sunday, and to do the Tatiova decks, mine and the winner of the contest, on Saturday. Now, of course, if you wish to participate in the Commander Core Creator Challenge, there is still time. Not a lot, but there is still time. You have until, I said noon, but I will give it until 3 p.m. on Friday. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, if you complete a Tatiova Steward of Tides Commander deck, it needs to be brackets 1 to 3, so no crazy bracket 4 or bracket 5 nonsense, please. Whichever deck is the most creative, fun, interesting, unique, whatever, we're going to pick out, and it will get featured alongside the deck that I built for the Commander Core Creator Challenge for the month. Last month's winner was Snoop, and currently Snoop is the only contender right now. So if you really want to have a chance at winning a Core 2021 pack of cards, which I will ship to you at cost to me, I just need you to give me your address over Discord and a DM, then you can try and get that Commander deck done. You have to build it with cards that you already have at home. You can't go out and shop for it. And or you build it on Architect or Moxfield or whatever program you want, as long as you submit it to me by Friday at 3 p.m. your deck list. Then I have enough time between Friday and Saturday morning to evaluate the decks and determine which one's the best. Anyways, let's get to this. I know that it's kind of disappointing when I do these videos in the car that you guys can't see Kaiba, so I'm going to open the old set, and then I'm going to take a quick break from the recording, and I'm going to insert a cute little Kaiba moment for you guys as a break, and then I'm going to open the new set, and we will determine which set is the winner. So here we go. Last pack of Lord of the Rings that I plan to open for a while, probably. Unless I do something crazy and get one for the stream, or not stream, the Q&A video, which, by the way, also, first off, really cool artwork. I am loving this artwork. This is probably my favorite art card that we pulled in a really long time. You got Sam and Frodo down here. You got Mount Doom. That is gorgeous. I'm not sure whether that's an instant sorcery or whether that's an enchantment, or it's probably a land, actually. I bet that's Mount Doom, actually, the land. But anyway, it's really cool artwork. But what I was going to say is, crap, what was I going to say? Super quick. Off the top of my head. Come on, brain. Get me back there. Oh, I'm trying to set up the Q&A for early next week. If my dad's away on during the holiday, because I have holiday Monday off. If my dad's not home for the holiday Monday, I will probably do it on the holiday Monday. But anyways, right now I only have one question. So if you guys don't submit questions yourselves, I will come up with a bunch of random things that I can think of to tell you about myself and Kaiba. But in the meantime, in between time, do go check out that post if you get a chance and write down some questions if you're interested. All right. I have to remember there is a pack trick that we need to do before I get too crazy here. I believe it's a holo, then the best card. We did not get a token. We got another one of those silly game cards, so that's unfortunate. And I think it's 5 rares, and then the rest are... yeah. So we got our art card. I'll put that there. And our game was Sharky's Tithe, which I really don't care. So we'll put that aside. Sam's Desperate Rescue. 1 black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the ring to your hand, and the ring tempts you. That's actually insanely good. Sorcery speed, but still 1 black? I'll take that all day. I didn't even know that existed. I wish I had more copies of that now. Ooh, it's my first copy of Oliphant that isn't a full art. I kind of like that version of the art actually a lot too. That is really pretty. Don't fall down. Already starting this nonsense. Oliphant is a 6/4 for 5 and a red with trample, and when it attacks another creature you control, it gets +2/+0 and trample until end of turn, and it has mountain cycling 1. So it can let you search for a mountain and put it into your hand, which is pretty cool. Mirkwood Spider, nice pull, death touch, and when it attacks target legendary you control gains death touch until end of turn. Beautiful card, I'm pretty happy with that. Mirkwood Bats, flying whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses a life. Nice! I've never actually pulled this version of the artwork for Mirkwood Bats before either. So that is actually really cool. We're pulling all kinds of regular art instead of full arts for a change. The enemy has many spies and many ways of hearing. What did the Oliphant have? Nope, no flavor text. There's flavor text on Sam's Rescue. By all the signs, there's a large warrior loose, with an elf sword and an axe as well, maybe. Gorbag spat. Sam smiled grimly at the description of himself. Far and wide, Shelob's lesser broods spread from glen to glen to Dol Guldur and the fastness of Mirkwood. I'm loving the art and flavor text today of Lord of the Rings. There's our mountain. And... ooh, Quick Beam, Upstart, and full art. I've never pulled the full art version of him, and I actually like this a lot better than the original. 4 and 2 green for a 5/6. Whenever it or another tree folk enters the battlefield under my control, up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. I am really happy with this pull. This is awesome. I eventually want to build a really cool tree folk deck. I just don't have enough of them to really make it worthwhile yet. Golem's Bite. 1 black, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. 3 and a black, exile this from your graveyard. The ring tempts you. Quick Beam was better. We've definitely pulled some really good stuff so far. I'm not going to say we haven't. Oliphant, like everything up until this actually was a really good hit. I'm not actually happy with that one. That's not super great. Ooh, Gandalf's Sanction. Another new one for me. I love it when I pull new Lord of the Rings cards in my last pack. Deals X damage to target creature where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Excess damage dealt to that creature's controller. Ooh. That is cool. That's got to make it into one of my Spellslinger decks. I'm not sure which one, whether it'll go in Kess or whether it should go in... it'll probably go in Kess, to be honest. I think Kess is probably the better choice. That is definitely a hit. Council's Deliberation. 1 in a blue, draw a card. Whenever you scry, if you control an island, you may exile this thing from your graveyard if you do draw a card. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's another card I've never pulled before, so... Oh, I forgot to read flavor text. There was a crack, and the staff split asunder in Saruman's hand, and the head of it fell down at Gandalf's feet. And Council's Deliberation. I will take the ring to Mordor, though I do not know the way, said Frodo. I think that's actually one of my favorite arts of the day. That is really cute for the artwork, though, so I'm going to put that up. Enraged Huron, Trample. Enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. It's a 4/5 for 4 and a green. It is a tree folk, so it does go well with my quick beam. Ha! We pulled 2 copies of Mirkwood Bats in the same pack. What are you doing, Wizards? What are you doing? I'm not going to complain. Mirkwood Bats is probably one of the best cards for any token deck that you could possibly want. So, I mean, I'm happy with the pull, but that is really funny. And our grand hit of the day. Dun dun dun. Ooh, Scroll of Isildur. I've never pulled this before either. Gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control this thing. The ring tempts you. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Put a stun counter on each of them. Draw a card for each tap creature target opponent controls. Interesting. Not my favorite saga by any means, but that is actually pretty cool overall. I didn't have it before, so it's another hit in terms of that at least. We definitely got a bunch of hits for things I've never pulled before. And a lot of really good stuff in this pack. I'm not sure if this pack will be the top dog, per se. Because we definitely didn't pull, like, something that instantly is going to win the match, I don't think. Foundations, you still have a chance to tie this up and end this on a tie. But first, I did promise you some Kaiba. So, enjoy the Kaiba. Alright, welcome back from the Kaiba break. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm not sure what I inserted there, so as I will pick it out afterwards. If not, I'll record something when I get home. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed your little Kaiba break. He's such a good pug. He's doing pretty good today. We had a nice walk this morning before I left for work. I haven't seen any blood from his claws for the last couple days, so I'm hoping that they're starting to get a little stronger. And I'm trying to make sure that he takes it safe, is a little safer when he's playing at the splash pads too. Aside from that, not much else to report to you guys right now. So let's get into the Foundations and see if Foundations can pull off the win. If Foundations does pull this off, it will end the series in a tie because I do not have the cash right now for an extra pack. And I don't think we've ever actually gone to 8 packs anyways. I think the original point of the series was to just go 6 packs. I moved it up to 7 just because the first couple of times we did it, it got kind of close to a tie. I just felt it was better to go best of 7. But if this ends in a tie, that would mean that Foundations successfully has stopped itself from ever losing a challenge in 3 successful rounds. Quick reminder, Foundations won the very first new set versus old set, and it tied in the second time that it participated in this challenge. So if it pulls it off today, it will end the series in a tie, and its record will stay unblemished. Otherwise, Lord of the Rings will hand Foundations the first loss it's ever seen in new set versus old set history, which will be kind of cool. Yes, I am biased towards Lord of the Rings. For those who are brand new and only seeing this series for the first time ever, I love Lord of the Rings. It is my absolute favorite series pack set ever. So, as far as I'm concerned, Lord of the Rings, I would love to see win this, but we'll see what happens. We are getting, Vivian Reed. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and have vigilance, trample, and indestructible. Nice. I'm not sure if I have that version of Vivian Reed, but I like the token. That could be maybe a good sign of things to come. Knock on some wood. I wish there was some in this car. Alright, well, a good token to kick us off. So Foundations is starting it off nicely. Courageous Goblin. I do need goblins. 1 and a red for a 2/2. Whenever this creature attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+0 and menace until end of turn. That's decent. Vampire Soulcaller. 4 and a black for a 3/2 flying. It can't block, and when it enters, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, I do like the fact that I'm going to get something back from the graveyard. That's nice. I hate the fact that it can't block, though. That, to me, is the reason why it's going to go to the back instead of the front. Ambush Wolf. Flash. And when it enters, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Yeah. It's not terrible. Think twice. Draw a card. Flashback. 2 and a blue. Meh. Inspiring Paladin. During your turn, this creature has first strike. And during your turn, creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have first strike. That is actually good. I'm happy to have a second copy of that, or maybe even a third now. I haven't started putting these into decks yet, but when I do, they're definitely going to boost a lot of my white decks, so that is pretty cool. Hopefully it going to Battery Saver didn't mess up this video somehow. Burst Lightning. 1 red and kicker 4. Deals 2 damage, but if it was kicked, it deals 4 instead. No thanks. That's pretty sad. Soul Shackled Zombie. Okay, so we have a a Vampire Soulcaller and a Soul Shackled Zombie. Interesting. 3 and a black for a 4/2. When it enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. If at least one of those was a creature, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's not terrible. I do like the fact that if you can, since it's a zombie, it's going to probably go in a deck that like has regeneration and stuff, probably. So that's not terrible. Offer You Can't Refuse is a much better choice, though. That's definitely a good hit there. Always happy to have an extra copy of that. Ooh, another Cat Collector. I don't really need it, because, well, I mean, I could, I suppose, put it in a deck that has life gain. There's nothing wrong with putting it in a deck that has life gain. And having an extra copy is nice. But, I mean, really is more so for my kitty deck that I wanted a copy of this, and I did get 1 copy, so I was happy. I'm still gonna give you props, though. You do have a pretty cool effect in the fact that I get a kitty cat each time I gain life. The first time I gain life each turn. Wait, during each of my turns. Yeah, that's a little less, but I'll still give you okay. Dreadwing Scavenger. 1 blue, black, flying. Whenever this thing enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay. Gets +1/+1 and death touch as long as there are 7 more cards in your graveyard. Nice. That is pretty good. Brazen Scourge. 1 and 2 red. Haste. Gremlin 3/3. It's decent stats, but it's not going to make the cut in most decks that I would build, probably. Archmage of Ruins is our rare. Instant and sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you draw a card. It's not a terrible card. It is a 3/6 for 3 and 2 blue. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a terrible card by any means. It's probably not going to make the cut into any of my Spellslinger decks, though, because there's already decent cost reducers in those. 1 and 2. This costs a lot to put into play. And none of my Spellslinger decks are overly great at producing mana. Except for the Goblin deck that I'm about to finish building might be able to, since it is got some green in it. But aside from that one, though, not the best. So, I mean, is it a good pull? Sure. Is it a great pull for me? Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. I'm still happy with it overall, though. Uncharted Voyage, 3 in a blue. Target creature's owner puts it on their choice of top or bottom of the library. Surveil 1. No thank you. Costs way too much. Not getting very good effects and stuff out of it. And yeah, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Finally, ooh, it is a pretty full art mountain for our land, at least. But I mean, honestly, by comparison, I don't know, guys. I don't think that this has got it. I like a few of those cards, don't get me wrong. And I know I have a bias. I will be the first to admit... Oop, I headbutted the camera. I'll be the first to admit I definitely have a bias towards Lord of the Rings. But I honestly don't think that... Yeah, I don't think that they got it today. I think that the Lord of the Rings pack overall, although it's not like jump out of your socks amazing, I think that almost every card in here is pretty well useful, whereas there's a decent amount of stuff in here I just would not play. The costs are too high. It's just not really worth putting in decks. They have effects that I'm not overly fond of. Yeah. I'm going to give this series to Lord of the Rings. If you want to argue with me in the comments about it and you want to defend a tie for Foundations, you can go ahead. I am willing to listen to you. And I'm willing to put out a video saying that I was wrong if need be later on. But for now, I'm calling this series 5-3 in favor of Lord of the Rings. This is definitely, in my opinion, the better pack. And with that, we bring an end to this chapter of New Set versus Old Set. Those guys are actually reversed for the comment. Tune in next week, because next week we will start our next chapter of New Set versus Old Set, where we will have Brothers War versus EOE. So that is going to be really exciting for the next 7 weeks. We're going to have some pretty cool pack openings, I think. Brothers War has been really kind to us with lots of really cool artifacts and stuff. And I'm hoping to maybe pull 1 or 2 more Transformers. On the flip side, EOE, I've only pulled we've opened, 5 packs now? And every pack has had some pretty cool stuff in it. I'm really enjoying the space set a lot more than I thought I would. So I definitely think you guys will enjoy that series starting next week. In the meantime, in between time, do tune in tomorrow for, or not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday for Commander Core Creator Challenge and Sunday for Super Deck Sunday. From Kai back home, and I, to you guys, take care. Much love to you all. Have a good Thursday. Bye.